my name is Pratik Tambre. I have Mr. Jordan Eliseo from ABC Bullion here. Just about ABC Bullion and how long has it been since you've been in the market? Just in history?
Yeah, sure. So ABC Bullion was founded in the early 1970s. So we've been operating in Australia for over 50 years now. We're part of Bullion Group, which is a very, very significant precious metal services group. So covers everything from refining, so ABC Refinery, which is a LBMA accredited refiner, through to Bullion, where we trade with investors in Australia. We also offer private vaulting and a range of businesses that facilitate or work with the jewelry industry as well.
So, sir, coming to the precious metal market here in Australia, what would you describe it as, and how has it been moving along in the past few years?
Yeah, so the precious metal market in Australia, probably like a lot of other countries, it really started to see very, very significant growth from around the mid-2000s onwards. So obviously gold was performing very well. Then we obviously had the global financial crisis, and that really put gold back on the map for a lot of investors. And really ever since then, it's been a market that has seen more and more demand, more and more growth. So obviously, prices can be volatile in the short term, but the market's been very well supported for many years now.
So, as ABC Bullion is a bullion dealer, can you just tell me the varied amount of products which you offer?
Yeah, we offer a very wide range. So obviously, the majority of the trade we do is in our own ABC cast and minted products. Yeah. So obviously, ABC Refinery, which is our sister company, is LBMA and accredited for both gold and silver. So we obviously trade a lot in our own products, but we also retail some other products from leading mints around the world, mostly silver coins and the like.
If I may ask you, where do you procure your metal from, and which are the regions which you target?
So as I was saying, from a procurement point of view at ABC Bullion, the vast majority of our metal just comes from our sister company, ABC Refinery. So as I say, ABC cast bars that you will see all around the market now, particularly up here in Asia, and obviously throughout Australia as well. That's our primary source, but as I mentioned to you before as well, we also source some product from mints around the world, Royal Canadian Mint, Royal Mint out of Britain, to name a couple, and we sell some of their coins as well.
Talking about transparency and traceability of your precious metals, what would you say about that? Like, how traceable are your products?
Yeah, well, look, we're exceptionally lucky in Australia that obviously it's one of the largest, typically the second or third largest producer of gold in any given year. Over 300 tons is sort of standard production figures. And if you look at the Australian gold market, very well established producers, they've got fantastic sort of production controls and sourcing standards, and you name it. So in many ways, that's very helpful for them, because then obviously as a refinery sourcing that metal, you have really, really good transparency and visibility about the quality of your supply chain.
Coming to the investment demand, do you see any differences or similarities between the market here in Asia and back in Australia?
Look, my primary focus at ABC Bullion is looking after the Australian region, so and investors within the country, a little bit in New Zealand as well. And if we look at that market, probably like a lot of other markets, you see a much greater focus on cast bars. And probably just due to the demographic and the I suppose wealth background or of Australian investors, they tend to have larger pools of capital to invest. So they'll be buying larger cast bars rather than maybe some of the smaller denomination products you might see in retail markets throughout Asia.
So what do you think is the value proposition that the APPMC or the ASEAN region brings to ABC Bullion?
Oh, look, I think everyone knows how important Asia is to Australia as a trading partner. It's been that way for many, many years, and I think particularly when it comes to gold, obviously with Australia being such a large producer, but there only being 25 million people in the country, so the vast majority of our gold is always going to be exported, and we're incredibly fortunate to have such rich trading partners, well-developed trading partners, I should say, throughout Asia and the region here, including in Singapore.
What do you think about ESG and initiatives that have been going around for some time now? And what does ABC Bullion do in the next, like the future mission or vision statement for ABC Bullion would be?
Yeah, so the focus on ESG has been a big part of our business for some years now. We've been sort of leading the market in Australia with the annual release of what we call our Considerate Precious Metals Report, which looks at a range of initiatives from ALS to ProvCheck for tracking sourcing, all things that we're doing to sort of, I suppose, lead the charge in that space. More broadly, I think, it's obviously incredibly important to the gold industry as a whole now. Ultimately, whether it be investors and in particular jewelry buyers, there is a greater focus on provenance and supply chain now, and I think that's to the betterment of the industry.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Sir. Thank you so
Brilliant.
much. Thank you.